Welcome to Defeat Your Cravings, hosted by Dr. Glenn Livingston, PhD. Glenn has held his doctorate in psychology for more than 30 years and is also a former multi-million-dollar consultant to the big food industry and uses his experience to help you defeat your cravings. This show will help you to focus on dramatically reducing cravings and leave the diet mentality behind, so you can more easily and effortlessly achieve your health, fitness, and body composition goals. Please remember, no doctor-patient relationship is created via this show, and you are responsible for confirming any changes to your diet, health, or psychological routines with an appropriately licensed professional before implementing them. Now, before we get started, if you haven't yet downloaded the free smartphone app to access dozens of these recordings all in one place, as well as to avail yourself of a confidential community for support, motivation, and assistance, please visit the podcast link on defeatyourcravings.com as soon as possible. And now, here's your host, Dr. Glenn Livingston.
Hey, this is the very good Dr. Glenn Livingston at defeatyourcravings.com. I'm here with a kind-hearted woman named Laura, who has agreed to let me record this session so you can benefit from her experience and wisdom and strength and hope, as well as her trials and tribulations and stumbles and falls. Right, Laura?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Well, catch me and the audience up a little bit. Tell me what your struggle with food has been like and what you've tried, what worked, what didn't work, and then how you found us.
I've just always been a gym rat, worked out a lot. I think I was just always looking for new diets because that's what you do when you're in the gym all the time. I was a personal trainer in college, so I was always reading whatever new book was out and trying the different diets. And that was kind of me throughout my 20s. You sort of respond well to every diet when you're 20, right? Nothing's going to bother you. You can eat whatever you want.
Remember that. Yeah.
That was kind of me. And then got married, had kids, and then didn't respond well to different diets. And I just felt like it became really obsessive and consuming. And maybe I wouldn't have noticed that if I didn't have kids, because before all you think about is yourself. And then when you have kids, you should be thinking about them, not about your diet 24/7, right? Or whatever. I've tried all different kinds of diets. I did like the paleo diet. I did a lot of macros and stuff like that. I would always like take my fat measurements and stuff like that. And then I got more into like the interesting diets. Like I'd heard a lot about the ketogenic diet. So I wanted to try that and the GAPS diet, just a lot of diets. I just completed, I think it was 9 and my list, lesson 9 and my list of diets, it just like kept going and going and going. But just sort of noticed the older I got, those extreme diets, it just took a toll on my body. I felt like I wasn't eating real food because, they're saying you got to get so much protein, so much of this. And so it's like, well, the only way to do that is to eat bars and powders, and not everything was functioning right. And so I kind of did the whole binge restrict. I would restrict during the week, 1,200 calories during the week. And I am a very small framed woman. I weigh about 100 pounds. So 1,200 calories is scary, and it's even scary for me, I think, but for somebody else, that would be like death. Put that in perspective. And then on the weekends, I would just binge. I was good during the week, and this is your prize. You can eat whatever you want on the weekends, and I was able to keep my figure probably until my third child. And then that didn't work anymore. And I think I noticed like the bad habits and just honestly how I felt. I was diagnosed with celiac disease. I was diagnosed with Addison's disease. And so I wasn't able to do the 2 hours in the gym anymore and do all those things. And so I just gained weight and I was sick and I didn't like my habits. And I just remember one day I went to a fair and there was an eating disorder booth. And I went up to the booth and I said, I have an eating disorder, but I'm an overeater. And they were like, we don't deal with that, but I really need help. I overeat all the time. I hide in my pantry and I'm eating cookies when I get stressed out with the kids. And then I feel guilty. So I found your book last year. I just loved it. I was like, this just makes so much sense. And by that point, I had been way more into, I'm just going to do whole foods. I'm done with all of the fads. I'm done with all of the processed stuff. I need real nourishment. And the whole foods really help. They help me control my celiac disease and the Addison's disease. And I was able to go prescription drug free, which was like really amazing just by nourishing my body properly. But I still felt the squeals and the temptations of those bad foods always there. Yeah, I just like didn't really trust myself. So when I found your book, it just made so much sense to me. I loved it. I feel like I kind of made a little bit of a mistake and made 1,000 rules instead of just one or two easy ones.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah. And so while I stuck to it so well for about 3 months, it wasn't compatible with the lifestyle of a mom of four children.
How so? How did you change it?
You mean what are my rules now compared to then?
Yeah.
Well, my rules then, it didn't account for really anything. Like I could never eat out and I had to control everything. So if I was not in my kitchen, I basically didn't know what to do. And so I was basically breaking my rules if I was not in my own kitchen. And so my rules now are things like I don't eat packaged foods and I have only specific things that I'm allowed to eat that are packaged foods. Like I can eat bread and noodles and stuff like that, but I'm not eating like chips and cookies and those kinds of things. I am allowed to eat out. It has to stay within like certain calories because I am trying to lose weight right now, but I am allowed to eat out. I'm allowed to have dessert when I eat out. I don't have dessert at home, just stuff like that. I made a
You
special
made
rule.
conditional rules to allow for life.
Exactly. I made a conditional rule that I could have cake on my 40th birthday. And it was a great birthday. There was no drama. I actually told my coach, I said, the cake just wasn't as good as I remembered. I ate it, but it wasn't as good as I remembered. But there was no drama. I didn't feel guilt or shame.
That's how it works because the addiction had to do with eating on impulse and women emotion. And that's what leads to the guilt and the shame. Even if you're not losing weight, or sometimes even if you're gaining weight, if you're really under control and people know they can make adjustments and go where they need to go. So it makes all the difference in the world. Were you making these adjustments with the help of a coach, or was this before you joined us?
The adjustments were all with the help of the coach.
Okay.
Yes.
You,
Hmm.
you worked with Yvonne?
Yes. Uh-huh. She's great.
She's particularly good at those kinds of adjustments, I think.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. She helped me so much with my last vacation, actually. I did binge on the vacation and I came home just feeling terrible and really just so much fear for my next vacation. And she just helped me so much. Like I feel like a lot of the anxiety and the voices have kind of died down. So I don't need to have that fear.
how can I help you now that we've got this time together?
A couple of questions talking about exposures. It's one thing to have like exposures in your own home, like things that you're around all the time. And I feel like I was able to get past those fairly quickly. And then, like I said, I went on vacation and it was like, oh my gosh, I wasn't prepared for this. The squeals were so loud and just like the temptations everywhere,
What were the
completely
main temptations
unprepared.
that you experienced that you were overwhelmed by?
Which food specifically?
What were the specific foods? Were there situations where you went out to dinner a lot, or buffets, or just that you had so much free time?
I
What real?
think it was a combination of multiple things. When I'm at home, I'm very disciplined and have my regimen and my routine. And so it was being out of the routine and this is fun. I want to have fun and just instantly like, how do I have fun? Well, I want to eat a bag of chips and I want to eat cookies because that's how I have fun and that's how I relax. That's what the squeals were.
Okay, so you went there, and that was probably a little mini disaster, right?
Yeah, it was. I just ate way too much for a whole week and gained back all the weight I'd lost.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It usually works better not to let the pig entirely off the leash, but just to give it a longer leash if you really want to have some fun on vacation, if that's really fun for you. I got to the point where that's not really fun for me because
Hmm.
then I have to recover from it and I don't feel as proud of myself. Even if I can plan it all out and do it, it's just, I'm gonna have to say once in a very great while, I might plan something and do it anyway. But I wind up finding that I have more fun when I'm just staying on my plan and mimicking
Yeah.
my routine the best that I can. I've come to really love my rules. I've come to really love the way that I eat. But most people make this mistake, by the way. Most people try, okay, I'm just going to take a week off. Then that's kind of a disaster. And recovery from addiction is being able to make intellectual decisions about food for the important trouble spots. Period, end of story.
Hmm.
And when you let the pig entirely off the leash, you're atrophying those muscles. But there's nothing that you can't eat. You can adjust to be able to eat anything just as long as it has a boundary. What did you want to know about the exposure? Is that what you're kind of trying to think through, or
Yeah, I'm just like, how can I be more prepared so it doesn't blindside me?
okay,
Because I'm actually going on a trip in December and a little bit of anxiety has crept up. Yvonne's helped me a lot with it, but it's still there. And I can still see the pig be like, you might be doing good now, but I'll get you.
where are you going in December?
I'm going to Puerto Rico in December.
And what does your pig want to eat there?
Well, I'm going with a bunch of adults, no kids. And so my pig, I think it just wants everything. I know my pig loves packaged foods. So I did make a rule, no packaged foods. I made a rule that said I can eat out, but I need to eat some fruit and stuff like that in the morning and have the 8 cups of liquid. So I think it's just like I'm trying to be a little bit more lenient in that way. I still feel the squeals and I still have the fear.
Okay. Anxiety about binging is always the pig's plan. It's the disguised plan. And you can get rid of the anxiety by exposing the plan in detail, making a counter plan. Your pig wants to have packaged food, and you have a packaged food counter plan. Sounds like you're covered with that. Your pig wants to do something while you're eating out. What does it want to do while you're eating out that's making you nervous?
Oh, it wants like not just a normal helping, but it wants like 3 helpings or just like to go crazy when you eat out. That's what it wants. It wants me to just keep eating and eating and eating because, well, if it's within your rule to eat out, then you could just eat as much as you want.
What if you had one dish and one dessert for dinner when you were out while you're in Puerto Rico? What if
Yeah,
that's what you did?
and that's reasonable.
Any dish, any dessert of your choosing, but just one. Would that be fun?
That would be really fun, and I would love that.
Can you visualize yourself stopping after one main dish and one dessert?
I can.
Would you feel deprived on your vacation if you could only have one dish and one dessert?
I don't think I would feel deprived.
You would probably enjoy it more because you'd feel safe, right?
Yeah.
If you wind up gaining a pound or two by the time you come back, is that going to upset you, knowing that you stay within your limits?
No, because I know that eating out a lot of times just puts like water weight on me. It's not always fat. So while I was very depressed after my last vacation, because I gained about 10 pounds, by a month, most of the water weight went away and I'm pretty much the same weight as I was before.
And it's
So
unlikely you're going to gain 10 pounds if you just have one dish, right? And one
exactly.
dessert.
Yeah.
And what about when you go out for lunch? What are you going to do then?
See, that's what's hard is I think because I'm not in control of everything because we're going with other adults, that lack of control, I feel like the pig takes advantage.
What if you didn't have dessert at lunch and you only had dessert at dinner? Or what if you
Hmm.
only had dessert at one meal a day
I think that's very reasonable.
and you had one dish of your choosing for the main dish whenever you went out, but you only had dessert at dinner and only one?
Yeah.
Then you can go out as much as you want. There's nothing you really can't have, but you're going to save the sweets for the evening. So if you know that doesn't matter who you're going out with, doesn't matter what restaurant you go to, you can have any dish of your choosing, just one. And at dinner, you can also have dessert, just one. Now, how can your pig make trouble for you?
That feels like such a great plan to me. And I like it brings me a lot of peace. But when I'm thinking, okay, let's think from the pig's perspective, because one of the people is like they're from Puerto Rico. I know that they're going to buy all the packaged foods and be like, oh, well, you have to try this or you have to try this. So I can see the peer pressure and try this, and the pig being like, well, you should just try it. That's all it takes is one bite, you know?
You're really addicted to packaged foods.
I really am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. On my Hawaii trip, I made a plan to bring rice cakes to have with a bean salad. And that's what I was going to eat on the plane. And when I got on the plane, my rice cakes got left in the car. And it was like just so much drama, like so much stress, and have celiac disease. So I have to be careful. Walking through the airport, I was like, what am I going to eat with this? And there were the chips. I'm like, well, I could eat the chips with the bean salad. I'm like, I'll only have one bag. And then, of course, the kids each bought a bag, and I ended up eating like 4 bags. So
What would you have if you could do it again?
You know what I would have done is I would have gone to a restaurant in the airport and I would have just bought a meal. I would have bought a salad, or I would have said, you know what, I'm not even going to eat the food that I brought because it's not complete and I'm going to be disappointed. And I'm just going to buy a meal.
There
And I
you
would have been
go.
okay with that.
There you go.
Yeah. I didn't have that rule. I had the rule that I couldn't eat out in the
Well, so
airport
so,
because,
so you're not going to have any packaged foods whatsoever while you're traveling.
yeah. Hmm.
Okay, if you eat no packaged foods while you're traveling and you have your meal of choice when you're out and one dessert at dinner, and if people ask you, well, you just have to try this, you just have to try that, you visualize them asking you, maybe they got some arsenic gummy drops. Maybe there's this
Yeah.
new arsenic gummy, and you say, you just have to try one, just a little
Hmm.
bit of arsenic, right? You'd say, no, thank you, not for me.
Yeah.
You say, my doctor won't let me, or the doctor won't let me.
Yeah.
I'm technically a doctor. I'm not your doctor, but you could say the doctor won't let me.
And I can always use the cross-contamination excuse because I do have celiac. So I could be like, I don't know where it's from. It's okay.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Once you've decided that you're not going to do it, then you can make 99% of people okay with it. If you're saying no, this is really not good for me, like it's kind of a form of food rape for someone to try to push it on you,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Yeah.
Right? This is my boundary. No, thank you. And what business do they have to try to get you to do it? I don't think there are going to be any legal cases prosecuted against them anytime soon. It really is like that. Just say no, thank you. I found that when I'm really okay with it and I'm settled that this is the right way to eat, then I don't have any problem with anybody,
Yeah.
including my family. I used to have the most problem with my family, but none whatsoever.
Hmm.
How confident are you that you will get through this?
I feel really confident. I feel very comfortable, and I love the visualization of people asking me. I never thought to do that, but when I visualize it and I visualize myself being like, oh, no, thanks, and then just do something else, discussion over, it's done. It feels real. It's like I've already lived it.
What date are you coming back?
I leave the 8th, then I come back the 15th. So I'm gone for like a week.
Could you visualize yourself on the 16th having gone through and followed these rules?
I do. Yes.
And what will that feel like? Why will that be good?
It'll feel just like my birthday felt, like fun memories with people that I love without guilt or shame.
And that's what life is about, right?
Yeah.
What will
Yeah.
happen if you give in to the pig on this vacation? What's it going to feel like when you get back in December, the 16th?
It's going to feel the same way I felt in Hawaii. I think I'm just going to feel depressed. I might feel depressed anyway because, I am going to be eating out a lot. So I still might feel a little bit of that dopamine crash, but depression and the dopamine crash paired with shame is just like,
Yeah, you
it's
might be a
ugly.
little depressed, but you won't be demoralized.
Yeah, yeah. It's not as ugly when you load the shame on and then all the feelings of, well, you were so dumb to even think you could do this in the first place.
And the pig will have more ammunition because this will be the second time.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Do you want to commit to these rules?
I do. I really like these rules. Thank you so much for helping me make them.
Is there any other reason that the pig says that you can't or shouldn't or won't be able to get through?
No, I don't hear anything, but I'm gonna listen for the next couple of weeks and see if anything else pops up.
And you know how to do refutations.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Do you still feel anxious about the trip?
I don't feel anxious about the trip. So, like for the time machine squeal, is that what I would always do in the future? Is just visualize the event and like go through it the way that you and I just did?
If you're nervous about a particular event or a particular time, sometimes if the pig says, I'm going to get you in the future, you say, oh, yeah, pig, what's your plan? But no, yes, you can just tell the pig it doesn't have a time machine and then you can ignore it. You can also tell the pig that you don't have to worry about the future. You really only have to worry about now. And if you keep flexing your binge-free muscle, keep eating healthy in the present, then it's going to be stronger in the future, not weaker.
Yeah.
So you can do that. When there's the presence of binge anxiety and it surrounds a specific event, I find it's always hiding a very specific plan to do very specific things. You had no problem painting a picture of what the problem really was. Your pig is going to go back for seconds and thirds, and it's going to have processed foods with the excuse that these people are offering. You can't say no. And we painted out that problem and then we refuted it, and then you felt better.
Yeah.
That's how
Hmm.
that works.
I
Big,
actually
big,
think I want to put on there Like maybe I can have one drink with dinner, and I don't drink alcohol, so it would just probably be something else.
You're going to have one alcoholic drink or something different.
No, no, I don't drink alcohol, so I'm just thinking about future things, because I can see when people are like ordering drinks, it's like I like to drink something. So usually what I drink is just some sparkling water with like lemon, but I might want like a virgin pina colada or something,
Oh, I
so I
see.
feel a part of it. And
I see. No more than one.
yeah, hmm
That's a good idea.
yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you got
adding
the
that.
formula, Laura. This is how this works. Do you know that my sister's name is Laura?
Oh, really? It's a great name, a
It's a
classic.
it's a great name. I'm super fond of her. Um, Anything else I could help you with?
If you're making a refutation for something in the future, like I did with my birthday, Yvonne instructed me to make refutations like every single day leading up, like in the morning, as I read my big why, think about the squeals and then write refutations. But it's very hard for me to rate them when the event hasn't happened yet. And so, like, I rated them all like threes or fours, and she's like, "Why did you do that?" I'm like, "Well, because how do I know if it worked until the day?"
If
until my birthday comes. How would I know if it worked?
if you're feeling less than 100% confident, then it's not a five.
Yeah. But what if
And
I always feel that way? I'm always a little
then
nervous.
we're gonna fix that.
Okay.
Then we're gonna fix that because the pig operates by injecting doubt into your psyche. And if you have any doubt whatsoever about your ability to eat healthy or not do something, then the pig can say, well, maybe you're not really in control. If that sits and it lives there, it's just going to niggle at it and niggle at it and niggle at it until it gets you to break.
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to try to articulate what those squeals are. There's an underlying squeal. And you can't ever really get all of them
Yeah,
because there is this squeal that just comes from the existential anxiety of living with a pig inside of you.
sure.
We all have a reptilian brain. We can't get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that it's got these patterns. We know what it likes to do. We know what it wants to do. And so there's this kind of existential angst. So the best we can do at that point, we take a leap of faith. I'm 100% confident that I'm never going to break these rules again, but my pig has other ideas,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
And see, at least then you've created the separation and you purge the doubt from your mind. It's okay if there is some anxiety, but that's always coming from the pig. And so it's always an alert. You've kind of set up a tripwire to set off an alarm as soon as your pig says that. You try to force all the squeals to the surface. And that's why I always ask people if they're 100% confident or not.
mm-hmm.
And when you can't get there, but you can't articulate anything else, then you say, I'm 100% confident, but my pig has other ideas.
I love that.
Good, good
That's
deal.
great.
Well, how confident are you that you're going to get to December 16th following this plan exactly?
I feel very confident. I am a five in confidence.
So you're 100% confident?
I am. Yes.
And do you hear anything?
Of course, I hear things, but it's not me, it's the pig, and the pig has other ideas that
Okay,
aren't my
sister.
ideas.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Do you have any questions or concerns about this?
I think I'm really good with this. Yes, I seriously feel very confident. So thank you.
Do you have any other questions for me about anything?
I do. Let's see. I'm going through my notes. Okay. The pause and breathe before eating, that's a struggle for me because, I'm kind of a grab and go type of girl. I'm always running around and doing things. Do you have any tips for that? Like when you're not someone that's always sitting for a meal, like so often I eat while I'm driving, or just because that's my life, with four kids.
Well, it's unnatural to pause, and it's
Mm,
particularly unnatural when you're a grab and go girl with four kids.
hmm
Your brain is set up to automate the acquisition of calories and to eliminate any thinking between that stimulus and response. That was a real strength 100,000 years ago when food was scarce. You really wanted to grab and go. There
Yeah.
was no time to wait for a competitor to take your food. In the modern food environment, what was a strength has become a vulnerability. And so we have to do something unnatural in order to de-automate those habit loops that are
Mm.
not serving us. And so the fact that it doesn't feel right and that you might be annoyed by it, that's a good sign you have the right feelings. It's supposed to feel annoying.
I think it's more forgetful.
Well, forgive yourself when you recognize that you forgot.
Hmm.
And let's make it as simple as possible. So forget about the breathing. Just go 1, 2, 3.
Hmm.
If you can't get to 3, just go 1 and then eat. Start with as little as you need to so it's the least annoying possible. And put some kind of reminder. If you tend to eat in the car,
Hmm.
then get one of those stupid little statues and put them in the car so that every time you see the little bobblehead on the dashboard, you say, oh, I'm supposed to pause,
Yeah.
right? Set a reminder 5 times a day. Hey, remember to pause before you eat.
Hmm.
Put it in different words. You can use expletives, remember to effing pause that so it stands out in your email box, or,
Hmm.
you can do all kinds of crazy things because you're trying to pattern interrupt. You're trying to de-automate something you don't even think about.
Yeah.
So you need something that really stands out.
Hmm.
And people ask me, how do you remember? Well, I say, if you were going to have heart surgery, what are the odds you wouldn't remember to show up to the appointment?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just, it's just a matter of making it important enough and deciding that you really want to do this and recognizing it's not normal and that it's going to take some work. You're going to have to pull out all the stops to make it happen. But Laura, it's worth it.
Yeah.
If you can pause and think before you eat, you can make all sorts of choices that you're not making now. And you can program yourself to think all sorts of things that you're not thinking now. This is how you really change. So
Hmm.
just count to 1 before you eat.
Yeah.
1. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, when I do it, I really do love it. Yvonne and I have, what did we say? I count to three and then I say, I can enjoy this. I love it because then it actually does make me enjoy my food more. Something like that, or like, I'm grateful that I can enjoy this. Sometimes I'll even read the big why, but it's just, I like what you said. How important is it to you? Because it's true. It's like if I had a surgery, I would not forget. So I just need to get that in there. Like, this is important. I'm going to put sticky notes up.
And if you did forget, you'd make it your business to correct it.
Hmm.
That's what you got to do when you want to build a new habit. I remember when I first became a psychotherapist and I was working with suicidal people, one time I didn't set the alarm right when I went to take a nap, and I was 15 minutes late to see the client. Fortunately, she was 17 minutes late, and so I got away with it. But
Hmm.
I remember thinking, this is a zero mistake area. I can't let that happen.
Hmm.
And so I got 2 alarm clocks and I set 2 alarm clocks. And one of them was a manual alarm clock with didn't need electricity. It was a wind-up one. And that way I didn't have to worry if there was a powder outage or anything like that. When we really want to remember to do something, we remember to do something. It's the pig wants you to make a plan to forget is the problem.
Yeah, I love that. I put in my notes, set two reminders if one doesn't work.
Yeah. Laura, what else?
I want long-term success. And I'm just wondering when people go through your program and they really do have long-term success, like if you could narrow it down, I know that there's like lots of things, but if you could narrow it down, what would you tell me so that I could just really hone in?
We did a survey at the 1 year mark, and the people who were successful at the 1 year mark, they were doing 4 things. Well,
Hmm.
they're really 2 things. They read their 3 R's every day: rules, reasons, reputations. They really saw their food plans as sacred. So they reviewed them every day out loud. They read their big why out loud or some very short version of it. I have a 1 sentence version of my big why now. It's really, really powerful. So they would read that out loud every day before they ate breakfast. And then they would read their refutations out loud also. Only for the squeals that bother them the most. You don't have to read everything that's ever bothered you forever.
Yeah.
You keep it as short as you need to, as you
Yeah.
can. And then the last thing is to listen to a podcast once a week.
Okay.
Just kind of stay involved because we really are surrounded by a society that all tacitly agree to slowly kill themselves with food
Yeah,
and
it's
support each
true.
other to do it. This is a different mindset. It's a different way of approaching things, and it seems like it needs a little reinforcement now and then, not a lot. Over time, look to simplify your rules if you
Okay.
can, but no simpler than you need to protect yourself. then really enjoy the rest of your life. The whole purpose of this is not to make you think about your food rules all the time, but to just keep the rules in place so that you can think about everything else all the time. So enjoy your life. Don't make this your whole life.
Yeah, I love that. Actually, I feel like joining your program has changed that about me because before I feel like that's all I was thinking about was food all the time. And now I don't need to like only be focused on that, like I'm going to make a couple of rules. I think my very first rule was no eating in secret or something along those lines. And then I added the packaged food ones, and it's just been like a really delightful experience. So thank you.
So glad. I'm so glad. If you want to do a follow-up in a couple of months, just email me.
Okay.
I'd be happy to do that. Otherwise, I will see you in the groups, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Be well.
Bye-bye. You
Bye.
too.
And that brings us to the end of today's broadcast of Defeat Your Cravings, hosted by Dr. Glenn Livingston. Now, if you'd like to find out more about the products and services Dr. Glenn offers to help you dramatically reduce your cravings and stop overeating in 90 days or less, please visit defeatyourcravingscoaching.com. That's defeatyourcravingscoaching.com. Thanks.